Hello.
There he is.
Bobby. Good morning, Chicken Man. Good morning. How have you been? How have you been? What time is it in the land of the Americans?
Pretty great. It is 3:30 in the morning right now on the Pacific coast of the United States.
Let's go.
Let's go. I did take a nap before this one, so I'm feeling like a reasonable human
Beautiful.
in some ways.
A reasonable chicken.
A reasonable chicken.
Beautiful.
Well, actually, no. If I was a reasonable chicken, I would be asleep right now. Chickens, they sleep when it's dark.
It's true. It's true. They're pretty good at that. They're pretty good.
Yeah. I will start yelling the moment the light comes out, though, for sure.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I'm glad that you got some rest. You were able to get a little bit of sleep before this. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always good to get some sleep. How about you? How have you been? How's it going today?
Yeah, it's been a pretty intense broadcast so far. We were following Shin from like the beginning, basically, of the tournament, and he had a good run. He had a pretty good run for himself. Oh, I can see you, Papi. Oh my God, you're beautiful.
Just for you. Just for you. I figured out how to make the virtual camera work while I'm streaming.
Technology, Papi. Technology. Let's go.
Wow.
Oh my God. But yeah, we were following Shin, and fun fact, I don't know if you knew this, but this was a rematch. Shin beat ByuN last night in Masters Coliseum, 2-0, in very similar games. So ByuN, I'm sure he was holding a bit of a grudge coming into the semis.
Yeah, he must have been. He wanted his revenge, and he got it. Honestly, that game felt very one-sided. I'm sure the rest of the series wasn't, but that was all ByuN that last game.
Oh yeah, 100%. It was very impressive, very impressive. But here we go. We're getting into our grand finals, Pop. We're getting into our grand finals. No Protoss.
Oh yeah. No. Look at us. Look at how we've moved. We've moved on. We've moved up in the world.
Yeah. We're evolving. The curse has been broken to the point where there's nothing left. There's nothing left of the curse. It's just Zerg and Terran.
Who needs PvP when you can just have the other races?
True.
Honestly, like it's a better finals this way.
Oh my God.
Really, the game is better without any Protoss.
It's true. Yeah, really, they're just ruining it for everyone else. I mean, come on, right? Like, who wants Adepts and Sky Toss and Cannon Run? Oh, it's awful. It's oh my God.
No, I'd much rather have Marines and Ghosts and Widow Mines.
Yeah.
And I think we'll probably get quite a few of all of those units in this series. As spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Golden Aura, it is the Shopify Rebellion's ByuN.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing onside. It is Solar. How was the broadcast over on your end? How were your matches? What'd you cast?
Quite good. Started out with DRG versus Showtime, which was a pretty solid start. Showtime played last week too, and I don't know. Part of me wonders, like, is he in Korea or is he just playing in the EPT Cup to practice with Ping? What is going on in here?
Let's go.
Hold on.
So fun fact, ByuN did this very same thing against Shin on this very same map as well. Didn't work, but he did do this against Shin with mixed success. It's going to be a 3-Rax build here from ByuN. The 3rd Rax, of course, is going to be proxied. It's Mass Reaper here from ByuN.
Yeah, I love this. I mean, I feel like the the 2-Rax opener, 2-Rax Reaper opener has been a little less common, except from ByuN.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen the 3-Rax variety very much at all. So unless Solar was paying attention to those games against Shin, he might be a little bit caught off guard by the extra Reaper, and that can be a big deal. If you try to take that 3rd base and it's 3-Rax Reaper, that's almost certainly going to be a cancel.
100%, 100%. And oh, we
Especially in this position.
Yeah, we take the third base. Solar, he is still in the dark as to what's going on. Now, when it comes to his build, I don't know if you noticed, it was gasless. He went for a gasless opener, went for a 15-15. As you know, Rainer's been doing this a lot, and Solar, he's trying his hand at it, and that means that late Link Speed is going to have to rely on Queens to defend, and Queens trying to protect this third base is going to be so difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's basically impossible. As long as ByuN realizes it's there, he even cancels that, or kills that creep tumor, which means those Queens are going to have a tougher time moving out to defend that third base. I think at this point, ByuN's just trying to make it look like it's still just 2 racks Reaper, right? This still looks pretty standard. Nothing too crazy going on here.
Nothing too
3 Reapers. Oh, even gets out of there with all 3.
Does barely escape. Meanwhile, reinforcements are on the way. And yo, the Queens are out of position, by the way. They're off of creep, which means the natural base is that much more exposed.
Oh. Yeah, and a lot of Lings starting to go down, and this is where things get really dicey for Solar. He's got 14 more Lings on the way, but like you said, Ling Speed, it hasn't even started yet. He doesn't have 100 gas yet.
Yeah, exactly.
And ByuN, he's actually not going for that third base, so it looks like that third base is going to be able to get up.
Yeah, the third base.
But now he's heading that way.
He does get eyes on the third base. He is going to be trying to chip away at it, but as you mentioned, did finish. He wants the Queens, actually. ByuN being a little bit greedy here. We'll see if he can pull it off. Does lose 1 Reaper.
Yeah, loses that 1 Reaper. He still has more Reapers in production right now. And so he's going to keep that pressure on. But this base now is able to be transfused if there's any transfuse available. I think the Queens are a more likely target, and he's just going to try to micro his way through some of these Queens. He does get a couple of them. Link Speed is finally on the way for Solar, but it still feels 100 years away.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's so late, that means that we can never dive on top of these Reapers. That means that they're so safe off of creep. Another 2 mid goes down. There's 1 transfuse available amongst these Queens, soon to be 2, but we're focusing them down, and we get another Queen.
Yeah, beautiful job here. And other than that 1 Reaper that went down earlier, I mean, ByuN is just keeping all of these Reapers alive. There's so many that are low, but they'll heal up. And in the meantime, he's got Stim on the way. That natural base is done. There's a 3rd CC being built. ByuN putting a lot of pressure on. He's done very well so far.
He has, but that Link Speed, even though it's been so long coming, even though it's so late, it is about to finish up. And Solar, it looks like he's getting ready for potentially a surround, and we'll see if he can collapse on these Reapers. Meanwhile, the Reapers, they just dip into the main base. The Lings out of position.
Yeah, and all the Lings try to go up into the main base, but I feel like they had a moment there. They could have tried to get the surround on the bottom side of that Reaper wall. Instead, it looks like the Reapers will back up for now. I don't know if ByuN realizes how many Lings are out, because this could be super dicey against this many Lings, but it is ByuN, so, you know. I say that, and then he'll lose 1 Reaper and kill every single Ling.
Yeah, he saw the Lings, he's racing back home. He's racing back home here to get behind the wall. Meanwhile, Solar's trying to beat him there. He's trying to cut off those Reapers, but he misses them. And the Reapers do make it back.
Yep, they get home. They did their job. And now they're back and safe back at home. And the fact that those stay alive for ByuN is going to make the follow-up so much more annoying for Solar to deal with. Those Reapers do a lot of damage against Lings. If the Lings try to get us around and it's Stim Marines and Reapers, that's going to be very painful. And the Reaper grenades later on in the game are so weird. Seeing a Reaper grenade in an actual army fight like 10 minutes into a game, oh yeah, those can actually still be very useful.
They really can be, and here we go. The Reapers, they do get across the map. They're going to be, once again, chipping away at these Lings, and as you mentioned, they have Hellions to support, and even with the Bio army later on, Reapers with KDA charges, they can do so well at just disrupting the Ling Bane army and just making it so difficult for the Zerg player to engage.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to clear up some of this creep that Solar's worked so hard to start finally putting down. He's got 1 million Queens, but the creep tumors just keep getting killed over and over again.
They really do, and Solar, he's just now saturating his third base. 4th is on the way, throwing down a Baliness for Ling Bane eventually, but once again, ByuN, he still wants these Queens. Doesn't get any, but he's doing a great job of just keeping the attention of Solar here on the front lines.
Yeah, and we know Solar loves to get that creep spread out there. The Queens do have enough transfuse to keep themselves alive for now, but if he's able to force some of those transfuses out and keep that energy low, perhaps the Marines can pick them off later on, as we do see them starting to move out here. They have Stim, 1-1 in combat shield, still a ways away, but they have medevacs to keep them relatively safe.
Yeah, good pick up there. Only 1 Marine goes down. We still have 15 Marines active here in that double jump. At the same time, ByuN, he wants those Queens. Doesn't get them, but he does get all the active tumors. So once again, just stifling the map control of Solar, keeping him pinned back.
I wish there was a count of how many creep tumors have died in this game. I'm sure there's a way to find that out, but
Mhm.
it's got to be like 15 already.
Oh yeah, a lot of tumors have fallen here. ByuN behind this with all his map control, he's freely taking his third base, he's working towards his armory for 2-2, and yeah, ByuN is currently in full control. Solar though is looking to stabilize. He's still not quite there yet, but he's working on it. He's actually throwing down a Hydrogen for Lingbane Hydra.
Yeah, and he's done a great job at keeping these Marines back. The Marines haven't been able to get anywhere too close to the bases. The 1-1 for Solar is only slightly behind ByuN's, and actually ByuN hasn't started up 2-2 yet. So that's going to give an opportunity for Solar to catch up in those upgrades. His Bane speed is on the way. I think Solar has actually done a very good job stabilizing off the back of what felt like a really annoying early game Reaper pressure.
Yeah, right. Like he got his third base, it wasn't delayed. He did lose queens, but he didn't lose many workers. Like he didn't really lose too much of his economy. So it could have been a lot worse. Could have been so much worse for Solar. And here we go. The tanks are sieging. ByuN going to be committing here to try to shut down this fort.
Yeah, ByuN is committing very hard. He never started up that 2-2. He's just focused on Marine production right now and keeping the pressure on to Solar. Solar is desperately trying to wait for centrifugal hooks to finish. There it goes, and now he's going to be able to try to get a wrap around here. He's got to get those Banelings on top of the Marines and the Reapers, but the tanks, great focus fire from ByuN is going to send those Banelings back home.
Yeah, the positioning, the focus fire is just too damn good. This fourth base taking a lot of damage. We do try to engage, but the Lingbane stuck behind the queens, and this hatchery is so low.
Yeah, it's taking a lot of damage here. Solar really wants to save it and maintain his base count, and he's going to go for it, finally clearing up these siege tanks, forcing the Marines to stim on backwards. Not seeing any of those KDH charges, though. But it looks like ByuN's just going to lift up and get out of there with what he can. Solar holds on and maintains a supply lead. He's still on 80 drones. He's still on 5 bases. And I feel like Solar, that would look super dicey. But I think he's in a good position now.
Yeah, it's so important that he saved this base. Like, this hatchery should by all means be dead right now, but Solar, he holds onto the base, and now he can get away with 2-2. Now we can get away with the Hydras. +2 attack just started for ByuN. These upgrades are so late. They were an afterthought for ByuN, and now he may start falling behind.
Yeah, I mean, we see that 2-2 is honestly almost done for Solar, and that armor and attack, a little mismatch there for ByuN, going to be a problem moving forward, I'm sure. He also doesn't have his 4th base up and running quite yet. The command center is only about halfway done, and he's really got to get some damage done here. He's got to take some good trades. He's losing a couple more tanks. The Marines getting caught a little bit here. Those medevacs are all so low. He's got to be careful of the Hydras and the Queens.
He really does, and he's relying on his multitasking, on his split push right now to try to keep up. But the Baileys, they roll in, they will not connect. Clutch pick up there by ByuN. But as we mentioned, Solar, he's about to max out. Like, his economy has been left untouched. He's been in 80+ workers this entire time. Hive is done. We have Adrenal, Ultra Cavern on the way. Solar, he is running away with this. The one thing he doesn't have is creep spread. Like, thankfully for ByuN, he has stifled that. But outside of that, Solar looking strong.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely Solar's game to lose at this point. ByuN was looking very promising, but he is on almost a completely Marine composition right now. It's just Marines, 84 Marines,
Yeah,
and 4 Reapers. That's his entire army. And like you said, that Ultra Cavern's on the way. There's a ton of Banelings out here that can roll through, and even just a couple connections, these Marines are going to really struggle against that.
Yeah, so something that did happen here, and you pointed it out, the 4th base was really late, is that ByuN was 8-raxing. Like, it looked like a 3-base all-in, which is why he didn't start 2-2, but then he started the 4th base. It looks like he, like, kind of was a little bit of 2 minds whether he wanted to commit to the all-in or not. That's why he's pure Marine, because he was on 8-raxes, and now he's trying to transition out of this, and it's just such an awkward transition for ByuN.
Yeah, I think in a world where he does kill that hatchery, this transition can work pretty decently for him, but Solar just basically took no economic damage this entire game. 1 drone has died. None of these hatcheries that really should have died went down. His economy's just been untouched, and he's happy to trade units out. And now he's in a fantastic position. He's going to catch these tanks before they siege up. The Banelings are smashing through the Marines. Oh, and that is just going to be it. GG gets called as Solar takes game number 1.
GG, well played. ByuN, he had a good start, but he did transition into an all-in. It was a straight-up all-in from ByuN, and again, that 4th base, the upgrades were an afterthought, and he just didn't do enough damage. He wasn't able to deal enough to Solar, and he did end up falling behind as a result.
Yeah, a bit of a weird follow-up to the 3 Racks Reaper opening, and I think ByuN did make a bit of a misstep by not going for that third hatch. I don't think he expected there to be a third hatchery there.
Yeah. It's something that took him a long time to realize was happening. Maybe he just really wanted to maybe snowball out of control and kill all those queens. And I mean, he was diving on them, but he just barely wasn't killing them fast enough. And I'm sure if he scouted the third base sooner, he would have gone for it. I'm sure that would have been a prioritization for ByuN.
Yeah, because I think if he at least forces the cancel on that, he can stifle Solar's economy a little bit more. He killed a couple of queens, but it just doesn't have the like longevity of damage that forcing a cancel on a hatchery does.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, Solar, he bounces back. But, it's a best of 5, 5 games, potentially 5 games we can go the distance. I'm hoping we can, so there's plenty of opportunity here to bounce back. And I doubt we're going to be seeing that 3 racks again from ByuN, at least not anytime soon.
I mean, you say that, but if you doubt it, then maybe Solar's doubting it, and maybe that's the perfect time to go for it again.
You're a genius.
Think about it.
Let's go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the South Korean Terran player down in this series, looking to fight back, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN.
And his opponent in the upper left-hand corner taking game number 1, holding on in a beautiful fashion. It is Onside Gaming's Solar.
And we're going for a proxy 2 racks, by the way. And sorry, did I say 2 racks? That's a third SCV moving out across the map.
Proxy 2 or 3 racks has such a high win rate in tournaments. I almost never see this strategy lose, so I'm glad ByuN's going for it.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Solar die to this before, unironically. Like, this can sometimes catch Solar off guard. Why not?
There is not a Zerg in the world who hasn't died to this in an extremely important tournament match. This is like, it's a good thing to mix in. You got to keep the Zergs on their toes just when they're thinking they're safe. Just when they're thinking, no. They don't even think about the proxy racks.
Yeah.
They're focused on the macro game. Solar right now, he's thinking about Reapers. And those Marines are going to hit when he's thinking about Reapers.
There you
and
go.
That's ByuN's strength right now.
Exactly. I mean, again, ByuN, he realized that, hold up, last game, I went for 1 proxy racks. And clearly that was the problem. I need to proxy every rack, Spappy. And here we go. The Marines are on the way. SCVs are coming in for those bunkers as well. It's going to be on Solar to react. Now, he does see 2 SCVs. He may think it's a 2 racks, and that's kind of a big part of this. Boys are being pulled. Solar, he wants to try to shut this down.
Yeah, the immediate boy pull here to try to send these guys back and at least force the cancel on the bunkers. He does force 1 cancel, but a new bunker goes down. Marines are going to start to show up here. The drones trying to chase those Marines, see if they can get us around. Solar's coming really far off creep against this right now, and this might be bad.
Yeah.
This is a lot of Marines here.
It is.
ByuN's going to start to just kill every single drone. I don't know if this game's going to last too much longer.
Yeah, we've seen this before. It's going to happen again. That's 9 dead workers. That is already too much damage done. This could have worked against a proxy 2 racks, but against a 3 racks, as you mentioned, there are so many Marines. There are so many more Marines here to deal with this. The bunker does finish, and now we're looking to dive in.
I mean, the body block, but it just doesn't matter. GG. And once again, dude, that build, it's just so good.
I don't know why.
I almost never see it lose.
I don't know why Terran players don't just proxy 3x every game, I'll be honest. Just why? Wait.
So, all right. I'll tell you why.
Okay. Good.
Because if they did it every game, Zergs would never lose to it. It really is. As much as I was joking about it, it really is that Solar just wasn't thinking about it. And, like, obviously, it's in there, right? He's got the Overlord in position. But it's not at the forefront of his mind. He's surprised by it, and it's just that reaction. And that puts Solar in the worst spot, right?
Yes.
Because he's not super focused. It's so easy to deal with if you're like, okay, you're going to proxy 3 racks, mate. If you know that's what's coming, you can just handle it.
Oh yeah. So very important to quickly point out there, and a big part of the reaction of Solar as well, that we kind of mentioned, is that there are two builds. There's Proxy 2 racks and Proxy 3 racks, and they both do require different reactions out of the Zerg player, and that is also why ByuN showed two SCVs initially against the Overlord to force the boy pool, because fun fact, against a Proxy 3 racks, you don't want to pull the boys. As we saw, like, there were just that many more Marines. So Solar just misjudged the situation. He was already committed to it. He had to try to engage, and I just snowballed out of control in favor of ByuN.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's a strategy that works against the 2 racks, but not necessarily against the 3. So some good little cheeky little mind games there from our Terran player, who is now spawning in the lower left-hand corner of Solaris. It is ByuN.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing onside, being forced into a tied-up series here, hoping that he can fight back and making sure he retains control of his mental state. It is Solar.
Yeah, I think that's the real advantage of winning a game with a 3 racks, proxy 3 racks, is your opponent is definitely on a little bit of tilt after that. Like, at least a little bit.
And that does open things up for ByuN to mix it up later on. You know, he could proxy 3 racks again. He could proxy 2 racks even as well and try to force like an underreaction or an overreaction. Like, the mind games are real with how this series plays out. So we'll see how this all does come together, as ByuN is going to be skirting around the edge here with this SCV.
Yeah, is it? Is he going to put that 3rd racks down again?
Oh my god! Let's go! Let's go! Bobby!
This is good.
Dolan, is that you?
Once again, you're absolutely right. Yeah, Dolan is well known, especially in the Korean community, for having the best builds. Everybody knows this.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is the Dolan build, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Oh my god. So this could be one of two things. One of two things here. It could be double factory mass cyclone. That was a build that did rise in popularity. We've seen Ryung do it. We've seen Olivera do it in the new patch. This could also be the Dolan variation instead, is to go for an armory and go for mass Hellion and go for a Hellbat push, like an early Hellbat push. So could be one or the other. I believe the Dolan build is designed to make it look like cyclones to kind of shake up your opponents and catch them off guard. But regardless, like, this is going to hit hard.
Yeah, this is going to be, I mean, Solar needs to figure out what he's up against, or at least some amount of what he's up against right now. And this is, again, ByuN kind of playing on the expectation a little bit, right? Yep. Like, I feel like Solar's thinking macro game, you know? And you just catch him off guard. He doesn't scout the proxy. I don't even think he scouted the front of the wall. Ooh. He is going to go check it out now. And this is an important scout for Solar. I think that would have seen the command center. I think those links would have.
It's possible. It's possible that we barely could have seen the command center there. So Solar, he's piecing this together. 3rd base is on the way. I love that we're fanning out links. There we go. We are fanning out links here towards the north and southern half of the map. He is looking for what is coming his way. This is not the most uncommon of builds, but like, you don't see this every day, you know? Like, so Solar, this, I don't know if this is really on his mind. We need a lot of queens. We need as many queens as possible. We need lings as well. We'll see if Solar can react in time.
Yeah, I mean, he is just building a bunch of lings right now. Ling speed is getting pretty close to finishing up. This 3rd base is going to be in some trouble, I think. But I feel like that's the least of Solar's worries right now, because this could snowball very easily. He is producing 3 queens at a time, too.
Yeah, 3 queens at a time. He has to be very careful with the lings. Essentially, the lings, they need to get a surround on these cyclones. If they do not, then ByuN can break through. This is an all-in. ByuN is going to be, he should be ignoring the 3rd base. He should be going straight for the natural, straight for the kill, as he is still just amassing more cyclones. And here we go. He's pulling the trigger. He does reveal his hand. Yep.
Going to show these cyclones moving out. Some SCVs coming as well. They can repair, or they can just kind of body block. Oh, what is this cyclone doing? These cyclones pathing the wrong direction, and one of them's just going to get caught and killed. That is a huge problem for ByuN. Even just one is a big loss here. There's only 7. Oh no, and another one.
The miss rally.
Oh no.
Yeah, this factory rally is just hurting ByuN. GG gets caught as he bleeds out 2 cyclones, and Solar takes it. Oh my god.
Oh man, Solar either knew exactly what he was up against, or he just smelled something fishy, and he was like, he was like, Lings and Queens. I'm just going to build Lings and Queens.
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell you're doing. Lings and Queens.
Yep. It was a good response. It was a good reaction from Solar. But as we saw, to lose 2 Cyclones like that, like when you're one base all in, every unit counts. Every unit is so precious to you, and to bleed out 2 units for free like that, that is game. Like that is just game then and there.
I mean, that was like an eighth of his army, or not even more than that. It's like almost a quarter of his army.
Yeah.
That just died. You know, that's a huge percentage, especially with something like Cyclones, where the more you have, the less the Lings really matter, because you can have that like tight group. They kill the Lings so quickly. Losing a big portion of your army like that is very painful.
Oh yeah.
Good defense from Solar.
Good defense overall, and here we go. We're getting into our next game. Solar, he needs 1 more to win it all. Meanwhile, ByuN has to fight back here and now to force the ace match.
Yeah, we are entering match point for the Zerg player. But he's got to pull it back. The Terran in the upper right-hand corner of Alcyone. It is the Shopify Rebellion's ByuN.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing onside. It is Solar. Show us what kind of proxy you got. what do you got, Pappy? What do you got?
Does ByuN have a date after this? Like, what's going on here?
He's just
Coliseum. He's like, I don't want to play.
Yeah.
Is he playing in that today?
Yes. He's playing like in 30 minutes or something. So.
Oh, that's funny. Yep. All right. He's like, proxies it is. Let's go.
Yep.
And it's going to be a 3 racks. Yep. Looks like it. And the Overlord is going to scout it.
Yeah, so this should be a 3 racks. Oh, wait. ByuN canceling one of those racks here. Going to be repositioning his proxy. And it looks like because he had the Zonaga, he saw the Overlord. He knows he can avoid it. No
God,
shot.
Dude. That's insane. That can't be worth it.
I mean,
but I guess it is.
We'll see.
He's gonna go unscouted.
True. Is gonna go unscouted. I mean, if it was scouted early on, then Solo could pull the boys and try to kill the SCVs as they're building the racks and try to shut it down. So that does kind of avert that. But we'll see if Solo has a stronger or better reaction this time.
That is so funny. It is, of course, going to make some of those Marines a bit later. And Marine production going to get online a little bit later. So ByuN's going to have to wait before he moves up there.
Yeah, he has to wait a little bit longer here when he does move in. This time, he does have his 3 SCVs. 2 of them are together here towards the left. The other is towards the right, but they are all going to be revealed. Solo is fully aware of what's going on, and we'll see how he does defer or how he does react as he does pull the boys once again.
Yeah, he's got a few Lings on the way. The Queens are getting pretty close. I think he's just trying to buy some time, but the full wall here for ByuN. 2 bunkers and a supply depot. Oh, the Overlord will stay alive. That's good for Solar, because that means he won't get supply blocked.
Oh, yeah.
Starts up a Spine Crawler. The Queen's trying to poke and prod at these SCVs. It looks like 1 or 2 of them might go down, actually. The bunkers are not finished up just yet.
Yeah, 1 SCV did fall. The other is very low. 1 bunker will finish. It looks like we may barely finish the other. The Queens come in, but they cannot get close enough. Up! They want the SCV.
Ooh, the RNG on that SCV.
Oh my god.
But it will finish the bunker. That's going to be 2 finished bunkers here for ByuN. The Spine Crawler, though, in a perfect position here. I don't think he can be hit by either of these bunkers right now.
Oh yeah, it is slightly out of range of the bunker. Second Spine Crawler does get denied. More Marines are amassing here. Meanwhile, behind this, we have Lings amassing as well. Link speed on the way for Solar. Oh, but he almost loses a Queen.
Yeah, clutch transfuse there. Both those Queens are getting quite low. ByuN, I mean, this is a good position for him, but he's not denying any mining just yet. However, the hatchery is down to 700 hit points, and that is the go moment for Solar. He can't afford to lose that hatchery. He's got to try to break this before that dies.
100%. He has to save this space. The Lings are going to be coming on and collapsing on these bunkers. Clutch repair here, keeping the bunker alive. Oh my god.
Oh my god, that repair is huge. Wow. And it looks like both the bunkers are going to live. There's more Marines here. All the Lings are dead. The Spine Crawler on the top side is going to go down. The transfuse keeps it alive a little longer. But another SCV was even brought over, a couple more, and that is just going to be too much. ByuN ties it up and brings us to the ace match. GG.
Cheat. Look, we already said it, but mate, proxy 3-racks, I've never seen it lose.
Dude, it doesn't lose.
It doesn't lose. Oh my god.
You know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe ByuN needs to do the masa and just proxy bunker rush every single game.
Let's go.
Honestly, his win rate so far is killer.
It's insane. It's insane right now. And with that, we are going all the way to the ace match. It all ends here on site Delta, and the question becomes, do we get another proxy 3-racks? Do we get another proxy factory? Like, what do you want to see? Do we see something crazy like a proxy 1-1-1?
A proxy 1-1-1 would be so sick. That would be so cool. I don't think we're gonna get that, but man, that would just make me so happy. Okay. I think we're more likely to see, maybe we could get like 4 racks Reaper.
Oh.
5 racks Reaper.
Oh.
You know, how many racks of Reapers can you support on one base? That's what I want ByuN to answer for us right now.
Okay, well, he is here to answer our questions, to fulfill our dreams, as spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of site Delta, tying up the series 2-2, forcing the ace match, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN.
And his opponent able to win in all the games where there's not a proxy 3-racks. It is Onside Gaming's Solar. I don't see any SCVs out on the map, but it's going to be at least a 2-racks Reaper, I think.
It's true. We do have the wall here on the low ground, and ByuN, he is going to be mixing it up a little bit. He doesn't want the secure. He doesn't want to make it too easy. You know, he doesn't want to just, just ride his way into a win here. He wants to work for it by going for the 2-racks instead.
Maybe this is when he busts out the Dolan version of the proxy factory.
Let's go.
Just to mess with Solar, you know?
I would love that. We'll see what ByuN has in store for us. Likewise, I'm sure Solar is a little bit scarred, is a little bit flustered. His overlords are scouring the map right now, looking for any kind of proxy locations.
He's trying to keep himself calm, but he's just thinking in the back of his mind, I can't lose to it again. I can't lose 3 games out of a 5-game series to a proxy 3-racks.
Yeah. You can't be that guy. You're already the nuke guy. You know, you can't be the proxy 3-racks.
Dude. Why'd you gotta say that? That just Solar can't even hear you, but he felt that. You know, he felt it in the ether.
I'm sorry, Solar. I'm sorry. But here we go. This time it's going to be a Rax expand out of ByuN. He's going for a special opener instead. Going to be going for, I imagine, a factory here on the low ground instead.
Yeah, this is not necessarily what I expect at all. Yeah, it's fun. It changes it up a little bit, and we have a second command center, which we haven't gotten since game 1. So, here we are in game 5, and ByuN remembered that he can take a new base.
Yeah.
So that's good. There is obviously the vulnerability of having your production in the wall, especially a factory. I feel like in the wall can be a little bit dangerous down there, but this is not dark. Ooh, sheesh.
This
third
is not
CC. Dark. Let's go, dude. I love this.
Third CC before factory. This is almost as greedy as you can bet. The only greedier way to do this is like CC first before racks even, which would have been even crazier. But this is still wild. Going to be going 3 CC into, I imagine, 2 racks, soon to be maybe even 3 racks. This is wild.
Yeah, it could just be a 3 racks follow up. His wall is still not closed, but why worry about it? Yeah. He's got Marines out front. Look, he's good. He's Gucci.
Yeah, you don't need a wall.
Again, this is not dark. This is Solar, so he doesn't really have to worry about like there being 7 roaches running across the map right now. It's just not something that I expect Solar to do. Maybe if it was like a GSL match, he might bust something like that out, but Solar's usually pretty macro focused.
Yeah,
and I love that ByuN, after cheesing 3 games in a row, is like, all right, 3 racks, let's go. Yeah. Or 3 CC, excuse me.
Let's go. I mean, I agree. Like, just to echo what you've been saying, again, Dark is known for more aggressive style. Same with Shin as well. I think the 2 of them are hyper-aggressive Zerg players. But Solar, he's a little more passive. He's a little more standard. So you can take advantage of him at times. Like, this is a really smart thing to do against Solar specifically. And yeah, he's going to get away with it. Like, there's no aggression. There's no early Roach Warren. Solar won't be touching ByuN at all. And He's behind this, even went for a faster eBay before the factory, and it is going to be a factory follow-up.
Yeah, I mean, this is it's kind of got like a 2-1-1 vibe to it. It looks like he's going to be able to have stim and +1 as he moves out with, I'm imagining, 2 medevacs full of Marines in a little bit here.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. Like, having that +1, right? Like, to lined up with stim is wild here, as he should be working towards that add-on swap, as you were saying, for a 3cc 2-1-1. Yeah, ByuN having some fun here.
I love this. This is such like it's such a meta game best of 5 thing to do when you've just cheesed a bunch. You're against a player like Solar, who again you don't expect to be super aggressive, so you take that risk, and in this case it's paying off so far. We'll see if he's able to get some damage done with these Marines, but he's already put himself in a great spot by having the 3 CCs done.
Oh yeah, definitely. Meanwhile, back at home, Solar, who went hatch gas pool into a third base, he went for a very safe opener. I believe he threw down a Bailey nest before Lair, so very safe opener here from Solar, which would have saved him against like a Hellbat push, for example, or an early rush, but doesn't really have too much use here. So now he's working towards his Lair, working towards bailing speed, working towards his mid game, but yeah, just really safe play, and that tells me that Solar, he has been a little bit scarred by this series. He's not the same.
Yeah, he's definitely playing this a little differently than I think he would just play a regular macro game. But I think at this point he's realized it's something macro focused, and the Marines are going to start to put some pressure on here. The medevac's coming out. He's got some Lings on the way. We're entering a fairly normal mid game, but I just like the way ByuN's gotten here, and that +1 I think is going to be a little bit unexpected, and should just make these Marines flat out better against Lings and Queens.
Speaking of, here we go, we're pushing onto creep. A couple of Tumors going to be knocked down. We do have some Ling Bane to defend, but no bailing speed, not for quite some time here. So we'll see if ByuN can find a couple of pickoffs, maybe even trying to dive on top of these Queens if at all possible.
Yeah, there's quite a few transfuses available, it looks like, though. Solar, because he hasn't really had to deal with any early game pressure, he still has a lot of energy there. Creep Tumors are getting taken out, but it's going to make it harder for those Queens to go down. And the Ling counterattack here, going to get on top of the SCVs, and the tank really helping out those Lings. 6 SCVs go down.
Yeah, really good friendly fire from Solar to force that out of ByuN, and does punish the move out as well. This double drop didn't really do any damage. He killed a couple of Tumors, but that was it, and he lost 6 SCVs in the process. So good counter damage here, and very, very necessary for Solar, considering the more greedier build of ByuN.
Yeah, absolutely. But that is the benefit of the greedy build from ByuN, is he doesn't necessarily have to get a ton of damage done with these first groups of Marines. It's just about keeping that pressure on, keeping that creep back a little bit, and that's going to allow his follow-up attacks to do even more than they would otherwise.
As we did have a bit of a bailing waddle by here. 5 SCVs went down with the help of the tank once again. Meanwhile, double drop into the main base here for ByuN. And Solar working towards Hydras. He's trying to get into Ling Bane Hydra, a pretty solid army composition, and we'll see if he can get there.
Yeah, I mean, I liked ByuN's position at the start of this game, and he still has some good pressure that's coming out here as the tanks and Marines move out. But I am liking where Solar's at. He's got that Hydra Den finishing up. But ByuN's going to put the real pressure on now. This is where Solar needs to be cost efficient and needs to keep his stuff alive. The double drop to the top side and the Marines attack to the bottom, but the Banelings, oh no, every Marine just gets absolutely blasted by the Banes. The tank goes down, and Solar just defends beautifully.
There we go. ByuN a little bit distracted by his own double drop here towards the north. He was microing that, and he does have a bit of a lapse in judgment. Did take massive bailies to the face, and suddenly Solar's in a really good position. He shuts down the army. He can spread his creep, and Solar, he has momentum.
Yeah, I mean, that was a perfect stop for Solar. ByuN is going to keep the pressure on here. These Queens a little bit off creep. Not going to be able to get the transfuses off. 2 of them go down very quickly. So that's finally a win for ByuN here in this mid-game. As the drop in the main base, I think one of the medevacs went down. So some of these Marines are guaranteed to be dead meat, but they're going to trade well against the Lings in the meantime. Solar will finally push this back. But ByuN is still pushing on the bottom side. He still has a couple of, at least 1 tank down here. I think he's got 2 of them. And the Marines starting to put some pressure onto this hatchery, onto the drone line here.
Yeah, exactly. But here we go. Once again, the lead main collapsing. Clutch pick up there from ByuN this time. At the same time, he does pick up in the main base, does save a full medevac full of units, and he's applying a lot of pressure to this base. The gas geyser does fall, but Solar is getting ready for a surround.
Yeah, he wants to get the full surround here. Some Marines left back there by the tanks to help out, but the Banelings and the Lings gonna smash through, and it looks like those tanks are dead, but the reinforcement Marines show up just in time for ByuN. The tanks may have died, but it looks like a lot of the Banes went down as well. Wow. And now it's mostly just a few Hydras and a few Lings spilling in. Couple of Banes gonna chase him back. These Marines are so low, but the target fire from ByuN takes the Banelings out and will keep this pressure on.
Oh my god, the target firing was insane. This army is so heavily overseen, but ByuN still has a force, and he is reinforcing with more tanks, with more Marines as well, and Solar's in a lot of trouble. How many Banelings do we have? 6 Banelings, soon to be 11 Banelings. Is that really enough with so little creep here? ByuN, he can keep pushing.
Yeah, I think he needs to just keep on pushing, though. Looks like these medevacs are pretty low on juice. He's going to try for a double drop through the middle. That might have been just to defend against some Ling run-bys here. But that's going to make this push a little bit less powerful, and the longer he waits, the better this is for Solar, who's on 77 drones. He's got a 5th base, but the Marines are going to start to come back in now. Some drones going down, some Queens going down. The Banelings running into tank fire.
And there's just not enough Banelings. Yeah, not enough, and Solar, he knows it. He does evacuate the space. The hatchery is going to be going down. A big pickup here by ByuN, and as you were saying, he's still being active here on the right-hand side. Solar does have a backup base to saturate. He does have a 4th that he can get up and running, but ByuN, you can see him take a massive lead in supply.
Yeah, and ByuN's 4th is turning into a planetary right now, so during all of this, ByuN has evened up the worker count. Like you said, his army supply is just skyrocketing ahead of Solar's. While he's only on 66 SCVs, with a few mules, his mining is still going to be very, very good. And he's keeping that pressure on.
He is keeping it on. We do see Solar trying to go for a run by a counterattack to try to bring back the army, but the planetary is done. The 3rd base is fortified here with reinforcements, so ByuN, he does hold. He can focus on his push. He's keeping the attention of the Hydras here outside the natural, and he's coming in with another army, and this base looking that much more exposed.
Yeah, it's looking very exposed. Lings and Banes are coming down to try to save it, but it's going to go down. Some of the Marines in this tank will fall, but the 2 medevacs boost into the main base. Oh, beautiful blinding cloud there, but I think the Marines might still win that fight against the Hydras. The Lings and Banes do show up to help out against this. The Vipers coming out at a crucial moment to help clean the rest of this up. But the double drop in the main still causing some issues. Drones have been going down, and Solar's not down to 3 bases right now.
Yeah, down to 3 bases. GG gets called. It's just too much, and ByuN will take the series at 3-2, becoming this week's ESL Open Cup Asia champion.
Wow, off the back of some 3 racks victories, and then he's like, if 3 racks are good, what about 3 command centers? It turns out that's pretty good too. Ah, man, what an excellently played series by ByuN.
Oh, yeah. Very well done here. Very chaotic. I'm sure that Solar was very uncomfortable and very, like, off balance throughout the entirety of the series. Even the games that he was winning, I'm sure he didn't really know the hell was going on. Like, the Cyclone game. Like, I'm sure he was a little bit speechless after that game as well. And, yes, so, ByuN just coming out on top here and taking the win. GG.
GG. What a finals. That was a fun one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a great finals, and it was a great cast as well. Thank you so much, Chicken Man, for joining me here. Not the most standard of finals, not the most standard of matches that we casted. It was very chaotic, but, I mean, that's what happens when the duck and the chicken come together, you know? Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Some exciting games. I love to see it. Now you're gonna go cast the Masters Coliseum, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. I'm gonna be handing the keys to the stream over to Kuro. Kuro's gonna be going live, and I'll be casting the Masters Coliseum just after this. For those that are curious, ByuN is gonna be competing tonight in that event as well, which is maybe why he was a little bit rushed in some of these games, but it didn't stop him from winning.
That's true. That's true. I mean, Proxy 3 racks. It's a good build. What can we say?
It's pretty good. it's pretty good, Papi. It's pretty good. Oh my god. But yeah, it was great. Chicken Man, do you plan on casting like the ESL Open Cups for Americas or Europe later, or what's
I
happening?
will not be able to. I have to work during the day, unfortunately. So no EU or NA for me this week.
Fair enough. But you have a KSL later, yes?
We do have KSL this week, thankfully.
Let's go.
Yes. Good times.
Is that going to be your next broadcast? Do you know if you're getting involved in any of the OSC casting? I know like the OSC Championships is on the horizon.
I don't have anything scheduled just yet. I know the championships have started up, but right now it's just KSL this week, and maybe I'll play some Zero Space. I've been really enjoying that.
True. How's it been? How's Zero Space been?
It's been good. It's been good. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot to learn, which is like, it's daunting, but it's really exciting.
Oh, nice. I'll sink my teeth into it. You know, when it comes a little bit more open to the public. But I'll be there. I'll join you. I'll join you in the space.
I can't wait. All right, you have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna go to sleep now that it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Fair enough. Sweet dreams. I hope you dream of proxy through axes. Non-stop proxy through axes. It's beautiful. Wish you the best.
I will. I'll get bunker rushed in my dreams.
No, you be the one bunker rushing, man. You turn it on its head. Have fun with it.
Yes, I will bunker rush. I will.
All right. Thank you for the cast. I'll see you around.
All right.
And need to fix this up. And with that, as we did mention, we are not done here for the night. We are going to be live in a couple of minutes here with the Masters Coliseum. Let's hold on, just need to fix this up. I apologize for the webcams as well. I know the cams were a little bit scuffed. I know it was a little bit all over the place. I'll fix it. Get around to it. Hold on. I do need to get a better setup when I'm casting with someone else in another channel like that. But regardless, I hope everyone had a great time. Hope everyone had an amazing time here in the grand finals of ESL Open Cup Asia. We are going to be heading off for now, and I'm going to be going live in a minute or so with the Masters Coliseum. So if you want some Korean and European and American action, we're going to be live with Cure versus Dark, Mar versus Cyril, Max Spec versus Shin, as well as ByuN series. So we'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Until then, thanks for watching, thanks for the support, and see you guys soon.